did this ourselves.
They're coming. It's gone to be.
Where is everyone?
Hello, survivors. Makeshift here with another edition of the Apocalypse Post. Today, I have a very special guest coming on to join me. He is leader of the Ash Waste Nomads, who recently allied with Hobo Junction. You might know them from Wasteland Weekend. We're going to talk about quite a few things. It was his first time at the actual Wasteland Weekend event, so we're going to find out what he thought of the event, see it kind of from a first-timer perspective. We're going to talk about some other festivals he's been to. Also, it's about time for you guys to find out how to get your hands on one of these trench skull shovel patches. If you're not watching on YouTube, you can see him on YouTube. If not, I'll describe it for you when we get there. We'll also talk about his costuming and weapons, how he got into the post-apocalypse scene, and maybe even talk about the Legends of Wasteland City, because he was one of the voices on there. Anyway, we're not going to waste any time because we got a lot to go through today, so I'm going to introduce him, everybody. Say hello to Trench. Hi, buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. So good to have you on here.
Good to be here.
Awesome. So, yeah, we've got quite a long history. You started reaching out to me several years ago because you found the channel and wanted to get involved. That was pretty cool. It kind of sparked a new friendship. I hadn't seen your actual face until I saw you at Wasteland Weekend, I'm pretty sure. So that was kind of wild. I recognized the voice right away, but I was like, who's this guy? So this was your first year at Wasteland Weekend, but I want to go further back because long before you went to Wasteland Weekend, you had heard about it, you started getting involved in the community. I want to talk about like how you got introduced to the post-apocalypse like culture world, what brought you into it, what you love about it, and what eventually got you to cross the country and attend Wasteland Weekend.
Oh, I had to take you back a long way in time. Back when I was born at the age of 5. Yep.
Born at the age of 5?
No.
Your poor mom.
As far as post-apo goes, I've been a fan of it ever since I was real little in the 80s. First time I ever saw, I didn't see Mad Max 1 first. I saw The Road Warrior first.
Same.
But after I saw it, I had to go watch the other one. But seeing it, I fell in love with the idea of the character, the broken man that does things, but in the end, just no one knows where he went. So he has a whole turn of life, mentally changes throughout the whole thing from a broken guy back into someone that cares, then back into a mystery.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a good point. He always fades back out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just see him in certain times of his life, and then you see him again in the next movie, and he looks different, or something's happened, and he changes a little bit, but you don't know why.
Yeah, he's gone through some shit off screen.
But he's broken no matter what. I mean,
right.
But no, I've always been a fan of that style of character arc. Kind of like, you go from that, you can go to like the Punisher from the Marvel series. It's the same kind of character, the broken hero. Right. But it just always inspired me, and then just seeing the design of all the vehicles and the clothing, and I was like, I love the old rusty earth tones of everything and the reutilization of things that have been lost and dug up.
That's awesome.
I was always a scrounger kid. I was always bringing weird crap home my whole life, and my parents would be like, would you throw that crap out? Because we lived near a junkyard, so that didn't help.
Oh, shoot.
It's always crawling around here.
Oh, that's hilarious. I remember exploring when I was a kid. So I used to live in this little town called Norton, Massachusetts. Still have a few buddies that live in that area. But I haven't been up in a little while. Anyway, up behind my house, we had this huge, just acres and acres of woods. And I'd go out exploring. I'd carve paths. I had a tree house back there, the whole deal. And one day I came across what was, one of those country improvised junkyards where people just throw stuff in their backyard. And it was long, this little creek that went by. And I spent hours just like trudging through it, trying to find old bits of metal and belts and there was all sorts of cool stuff in there. And it was a lot of fun. So yeah, I totally understand the allure of garbage.
Yeah. Going into old barns that haven't been touched in a long time. You're just like, look at all these old rusty tools. It's great.
Yeah. Or exploring like abandoned houses or even just old houses and going into the basement and finding like the old collections of stuff that people used to just have to have.
Was it what is it called when you urban exploration? There you go.
Oh, I got really into that when I was in LA. Yeah. That was one of my favorite things. Go find all the old Nike missile sites, all the abandoned military bases that were out there. There's a ton of stuff you can find in California.
Oh, you'd have liked that up in Alaska then, because we had an old when the Cold War happened, they defunct all the missile defense silos up there.
Yep.
And we trained in the same environment where they're at, so you could see these huge clamshells just open to the sky so the satellites can see that they're empty. But there'd be like sheets of metal just hanging off, and you could hear them banging at night.
Oh, shoot. So, yeah, that's interesting.
It was out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, so you see these massive pieces of, machinery and old buildings just falling apart.
That's what you just said, that the clamshells were wide open so that the satellites could see they were empty.
Mm-hmm.
My mind is racing on the implications of all of that. And I imagine it's so that spy satellites know that this isn't a target. Is that kind of what I'm thinking?
It was to prove that we had dismantled them during the Cold War. Okay. So if they scanned the area, they could see that those old defense systems were defunct.
Yeah, got it. So they were actually decommissioned. There's nothing inside it. I gotcha. That's fascinating.
Don't worry, nobody's going to come to your door in a black suit and go, "Hey, I heard you talking about that."
Yeah, but this is all declassified, I imagine. Well, since the satellites can see right into the bunkers, I'm sure it's just public knowledge at this point. That's funny, though. Interesting.
And then that and talking about how I got into the stuff. Me and Spaz were just combing the internet one day, and we found a...
And Spaz is your wife? Partner? Yeah. Awesome.
She's that's her name, Wasteland name.
Awesome.
Or the Tooth Doctor. Or she also role plays as Murgmur, the vendor from Fallout 76. And she also has the post-apo Mr. Fuzzy costume.
Nice. Yeah. Post-apo Mr. Fuzzy? What is that?
The cat mascot from Fallout.
Oh, I got you.
With the really psychotic grin.
I got to look this up.
Yeah, she has the dirty version with the shirt that says "die" on it. And that was fun. I've never spray painted somebody in a costume while they were wearing it before, but hey.
Yeah. Oh, I got you. I've seen that cat around. Yeah, he is scary. Pretty like just not a great kid's toy overall.
Yeah, she was in the highlights reel for the Fallout 76 event they had online, and she was actually in the reel as one of her photos.
Oh, sweet.
The 20th anniversary, that's it.
Was that the one at Cool Springs?
She wasn't there. They did a reel and they had people send in photos.
Oh,
okay. She got to be one of them. So.
I gotcha. Oh, rad.
We do have a friend that does go to that, though. He plays an NCR character.
Yeah, I really want to go to it. The Fallout Festival at Cool Springs, I think they're in their second or third year or something, and they had 20,000 people show up this year over the couple of days.
It was nuts.
It's pretty wild. Yeah, they were literally like telling people we have no more room for vendors, we have no more tickets, like please do not come.
They don't expect that. You say that from a Wasteland perspective, and you're just like, sucker.
Yeah, well, it's because it's such a tiny little town, right? It's a ghost town. That's why it got featured in the video game, and they just don't have the space or the utilities to be able to handle that many people. But I did hear from the people that went that it was a ton of fun, and they had a blast. Even though not everyone's in costume, everyone's there still celebrating Fallout, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. But, back to what I was talking about, it was like, what was it, 2017? 2016? I was just scrolling through and I found one YouTuber that did a tribute song to Fury Road, and it was called, what the hell's the name of the song now? Shit.
So wait, it was like an artist that was doing... like a cover, or they had their own original song that was about Fury Road?
Here, I will get the name of it really fast while we're talking. But
okay.
Now we found this, and
before that happened, were you already like kind of into the world, or is this what's the major catalyst that created the situation where you have an entire room of your house that is decked out like a Fallout bunker? That's really what this comes down to.
Yeah. Say that again. My ADHD squirrel brain.
Yeah, well, I'm having the same. So you mentioned this song that someone performed. Was that kind of like a big catalyst for you?
Yeah, I was looking up stuff for because I started out doing the medieval thing with Gothic plate, which I ended up using in parts of my Wasteland kit. And then I was just loafing around looking at stuff, and I ran across this guy that does music for movies and video games. He does tributes to them. And it was Miracle of Sound. It was the Fury Road song, and they called it Road Rage. And it's based off the drums.
Cool.
And then from that, I found Attack. And when they did the Suicide Death Machine.
Uh-huh.
And then that brought me into your channel.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So that was back when you were wearing the sunglasses and just the hat.
Oh, yeah. Yep. The one that's still like my icon for the YouTube channel, I think. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then from there on, we wanted to go. We really, really wanted to go. And then after that, that's when COVID happened. So if even we could have went, we couldn't.
Oh, right. Yeah, because we didn't have a festival in 2020. Yeah.
And then we kept knocking around. I was like, well, look at these other events. And look at the other. And some of the other ones are like defunct. They aren't even like Damnation Alley is no longer a thing, I don't think.
Yeah, I've got an entire map of festivals, and some of them hadn't happened yet, like Apox East, so that one's labeled unexplored. And some of them have decided that they're not going to continue. And that just happens. It's really tough to run events like this, and sometimes people just run out of steam or run out of money. But yeah, tell me about a couple of the ones that you did get to.
Yeah, and then like I said, after that, we discovered Aftermath, and we're like,
And that one's down in Alabama, right?
Yeah, that's in Gadsden, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
This was our fourth year going to that. So yeah, we went to that back to back this year. We went to Wasteland, and then we went to Aftermath.
Nice.
So
that's kind of like an appropriate direction to go. Like,
yeah, because it's basically like you're going home.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you just overshoot it a little bit, and then yeah, it's
because we added to the lore of the characters. So because I come from a place way off. My character's background goes all the way across the ash waste of what used to be the ocean. Between U.S. and Europe.
Oh, so you're like somewhere in the dry Atlantic?
Yeah, I came all the way across. That's right. then my vehicle that I was supposed to be driving across to the west couldn't make it across to where the Mississippi used to be, so I had to ditch it.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, the whole story goes from there. It's just there's Easter eggs in the story of Trench and his travels. So if I ever get down to like explaining that later, you'll pick up on it if you're like fluent on music and whatnot.
Yeah.
But we went to Aftermath our first time. And long story short on that, it was so awesome to finally meet other people that did it in person. And you were right off the bat. I mean, we pull up. The first person I meet is a guy named Mule. And he runs up to me because this is the first time we packed everything in a Buick.
Oh, wow.
We didn't have a truck.
Yeah.
We didn't have a main camp or nothing. We didn't even have a tribe yet. It was just me and the tooth doctor.
Yep.
So I get out of the car. He runs up to me and he's like, "Hi, my name's Mule. I love to carry things. Give me something heavy to carry."
What?
So I was like, "All right.
Oh, hell yeah.
Here's 2 6-gallon jugs of water. Carry those over there."
Yeah. Hello, new best friend.
So yeah, from there on, we met up. A lot of the people we met our first time are still really good friends to this day. And because I don't think anybody's. I mean, that's where we met. We met the War Pigs.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we met Goat Blow. We met Red Mountain, which they've been to Wasteland before.
Cool.
Long time ago. They're supposed to be making a return.
All right. Very good.
We got the Trading Post. Yeah, that's Marshall Muskrat and Banana Bird's Trading Post. Great people. Skillet was one of their people. He's a good breakfast guy. He makes really good burritos and stuff, and he runs his butt off.
Oh, very nice. And about how many people were at Aftermath when you went?
Our first time, a little over 100, maybe.
Okay,
it's not a big event.
Yeah, so it's pretty intimate.
Yeah, you get to know everybody and you make your rounds.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, yeah, there's also the Pig Fuckers Bar. That's the name of the bar.
Okay. All right. Wait, is it because like Pig Fucker is running the bar, or is it a bar for pig fuckers?
It's the title of the bar, but I think they renamed it this year though.
Okay.
It was an up in the air title, I think, because they made a new tent entirely. Because the original Pig Fucker, rest in peace, it fell apart.
Oh no! Oh no! Yeah, sometimes that happens when you're building things out of scrap and rotten lumber. It tends to eventually fall down.
Yeah, we met so many. I mean, it's like I said, it's a small group, but you meet so many people. Each year you go, you meet new people.
Yeah,
we have our friends from the Desolate Pit. Rug Cutter and Fun Facts.
Yeah, oh, very cool. People. All right, sweet. So you've been to Aftermath a couple of times now, right?
This was our 4th year.
Goodness. All right, sweet. And it must be a lot of fun to keep you coming back.
Mm-hmm. It's like coming home every time you go.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even after our first time when we were leaving and going off the hill to leave that official drive down the hill, you're just like you start to tear up. I mean, for instance, like. Here we go.
Ooh, what do we got?
This is a MIG fuel bottle, and I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's got autographs from all the people that were at the first Aftermath on it.
Cool. Oh, that's awesome.
That's my best piece of memorabilia there.
Nice. Oh, fantastic. All right, so after you got kind of a taste for Aftermath, did you find any other festivals? Like, have you been to Atomic Falls? Because that one's pretty close to you, right?
Yeah, we're thinking about going to that one too. We kept doing one every year, so it kept being Aftermath because that was our first. So we consider that home.
I got you.
As far as our Wasteland goes.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's Atomic Falls. We want to try to go to that sometime because our buddy Killjar, he runs that one.
Yep.
And then there was Junkyard, but Junkyard got renamed. What is it renamed to? I can't remember what it's renamed to now, but it's been taken over by another person.
Yeah, gotcha.
And that's in Georgia.
Yeah, I gotta do some update. And I know that
North Carolina.
I know that Carl Bartaszynski has a website called postapochevents.com that actually he's kind of the most up to date on all of these that I know. I know he reaches out at least once a year to make sure that everything's updated. So that's a good resource to check out if you're looking for an event in your area. It's super helpful and has all the information and direct links right to the website so you can get tickets and all that kind of stuff. So that's a great resource if you're looking for festivals nearby and want to get updated. All right, sweet. So go to Aftermath a few years. You've been itching to go to Wasteland Weekend, and you finally made it this year. So tell me a little bit about that story of finally like making the drive down Our Lady of Perpetual Asphalt, Route 40, across the United States, and making it to the festival.
Oh, that was fun. That was quite. It wasn't so bad going out, but the events on the way back were. I think we thought of grace for a little while, but then we got from Our Lady, but but we did manage. We did do the Great 40 migration. We wanted to do that. If we were going to do anything, we wanted to do that for our first year to say we were part of that because that was really awesome to meet everybody and to stop at the I think it was Arizona when we stopped at our first stop to meet together. Yeah, we stopped at the Junkyard Bar, I think it was called.
Where is that?
It's literally a junk. I don't know the town,
but it's on the way.
Yeah,
sweet.
If you ask anybody else in the Great 40, they might be able to name it right off the bat. Yeah, it's literally a junkyard, and you go in, and all the tables are the hoods to cars.
Oh, and, dang! All right, hold up.
We got there at the gate first because we're dedicated to driving. And the first vehicle we see come off the ramp to come in there is Atomic Annie. So
yes,
I was like this.
Yes, Shepard's vehicle. Yep. That's awesome.
But nice. We stopped there, and we stopped in Winslow, Arizona, and we ate together, and that was that was a fun time. I was like, man, I haven't been to Wasteland yet, and I'm already getting gifts and trinkets. I mean, I got I got one of them right here on the table. That was one. It's a giant bottle cap with sand from the desert.
Oh yeah, cool. Sweet.
I try to keep random stuff all over the place.
I'm trying to look up Junkyard Bar, but nothing's coming up. There's a couple up in like the Wisconsin area. There's a Salvage Yard Bar and Grill up. Where's this? This is. Oh, I bet there's some really cool spots out there that I've never thought to look up before.
I thought I had it in my gallery.
Let's see here. That's all right. That's all right. I'm just interested in adding it to my own map because I do the 40 every year to get out to Wasteland.
Yeah.
And it's always fun to have some neat spots to drop in on to check out.
Yeah, there it is. It's called the Junkyard on 66 Brewery.
Okay. Junkyard on 66 Brewery. That's awesome. There it is. All right, that's in Grants, New Mexico. Oh, shoot.
Okay, it's New Mexico. Sorry.
That's right in one of my hoods there.
Now you know.
Yep. All right, so I'm going to save that and want to go. Got it. All right, sweet. So I'm going to check this place out on my way to Wasteland this year. Or maybe on my way to Neotropolis, because that's coming up first. All right, so you're traveling down Route 40. You've met up with some Wastelanders. How's the rest of your trip go?
Well, like I said, we stopped there, and we were in Arizona going up through the hills. And we got this really steep incline, and there's a lot of traffic going one way, and it was pretty hot. We're driving behind this vehicle in this trailer, and she's trying to eat her snack going up the hill behind this house on this trailer. And when the tire starts to smoke and the insulation underneath the thing starts to fly out because the rubber's flapping against this house, the whole outside of the tire blows off the rim and it's spinning down the road backwards towards us.
What?
But she moves off to the side.
Oh, the actual tread of the tire is off of the wheel.
The whole outer wall
is now rolling down the highway on its own.
Coming back down towards us.
Oh my God.
So she goes over to the side, misses the Dodge, and it hits the 18-wheeler in the front behind us.
Whoa.
It was like, wow, that was interesting.
And so you were able to just keep going?
Yeah, we were able to keep going, but it was just out of nowhere. You just see, I mean, I can't describe how much smoke there was off the bottom, but it was literally slapping the bottom of the house, ripping pieces of it out.
Yeah.
So...
Oh, son bitch. Yeah, that's scary. I've had a few of those happen because when you spend a lot of time on the road, it's inevitable. Mm-hmm. But almost always it seems like something comes up on the way to Wasteland. Sometimes it's my own trailers that are breaking. But yeah, I've definitely had other things go wrong in front of me, which is scary. But all right, so glad you guys were safe.
The Love Bombs provide top-notch outcomes for the most discriminating clients all across the Wasteland. When you need executive escort and protection, intelligence analysis, direct action, or other specialized solutions, the Love Bombs provide a bespoke option tailored directly to your needs. Listen to this heartfelt testimonial from one of the Love Bombs' satisfied clients.
I hired the Love Bombs to save my precious Pookie Pie from them there scabs over yonder. They was fixing to turn his poor hide into jerky. Woo! Woo! I reckon not a one of those bastards will walk away from this scuffle.
Because it's on the body part.
Goodness gracious, I reckon I ain't ever seen a gun that big. The Love Bombs will give your enemies a licking they won't soon forget.
Yes, the Love Bombs. They're polite, professional, and have a plan to kill everyone they meet. The Love Bombs provide complete confidentiality in their free initial consultation. That's right, the initial consultation is absolutely free. Remember, the Love Bombs. Artillery available.
We're going to go off on a little diatribe here. So the way that I met you was you reached out because I was asking for people to, if anyone did voices or anything like that, because we were doing the Legends of Wasteland City audio drama. And you reached out at some point just saying, hey, if you need anything at all, let me know. I'm up for it. You know, I just want to be a part of it. And I was like, actually, I have this character of Kasper in the ones who came before. He's kind of a smaller role, but the actual Kasper didn't want to do the voice. So I needed to cast it out. And I heard your voice and I was like, man, you're perfect for this role. So I sent a kit over to you. What'd you do? You set it up in your closet.
Yeah.
Because that's what, well, that by my instructions, I was like, if you don't, most people don't have a studio, so a closet makes a really good backup. And you recorded that and it was really great. So anyway, at Wasteland, you and Kasper met pretty much at the exact moment that I was there. So I get to like kind of see this, it was like the Spider-Man all pointing at each other kind of a thing. And it was super fun.
Yeah, that was interesting. Because I remember when you asked me to do that, and I was like, well, can you tell me what he sounds like? You're like, yeah, well, he really doesn't talk.
No, he talks. He just, he's a little shy. He's a little shy until he gets a little bit of, drink down
liquid
his
courage,
gullet, and then suddenly he's a very talkative fella.
I just when you were asking for people to help, I was like, well, you've done so much for everybody else, and you've made videos, and I've got to watch them. So you've done stuff for me. I was like, the least I can do is give back somehow.
Yeah, and you'd never done anything like that before, right?
No.
What'd you think?
It was. I wouldn't say I was nervous, but I was. It was not wanting to disappoint. I'm like, I was like, well, I have a really crappy memory when it comes to reading.
Okay,
so I have to do it in segments. I was like, do you mind if I do it in small segments because I'll forget some? But then when you were like, just use it as a guideline and you put your own spin on it, I was like, okay, I can do that. Yeah.
Well, all right. So first, I gave you the original script from the ones who came before, which was just kind of like he's a supporting character. Yeah. He's just got a few lines throughout. And you kind of crushed that. And then you still had the gear. And I was like, man, you sound good. Do you mind if I write you like your own episode? And that's probably the part that you're like, man, I needed to do this piece by piece because it was long. I think it was a good 10 minutes of of just that episode. And so, yeah, but just so you know, professional voice actors, that's exactly how they do it. They just do it a little bit at a time. Mm-hmm. That's how it's done.
Yeah, because then I was like, well, when you said do the radio broadcast, I was like, well, shit, how do I want to do this? I was like,
yeah,
because I did the voice just as a voice, but I was like, if I'm gonna do a radio voice or I want to make people catch people's ears, I was like, how do I want him to sound for his online voice or on air voice? I was like, so I took a little bit of Robin Williams from Good Morning Vietnam. And mixed it with two other characters, Wolfman Jack and Big Ben, a blues DJ from like the 1920s, I think. So it's like I kind of wanted to use that gruff, like his throat's a little rough from being in the wasteland, but I wanted to put that suave, smooth, like southern drawl on it. So
yeah,
I tried to make it something out of that.
Right. Well, it sounded great, and honestly, it became one of those really fun. Like it's a spin-off episode. Because, we talked a lot in the ones who came before about the radio broadcasts and about how they're like spreading the news while also advertising, the things they have for sale. But the broadcast kind of became like people's warning systems about like where raiders are and that kind of thing. So we kind of wanted to just build the world out a little bit by having this kind of spin-off episode and just listen to what the radio would sound like. And if I remember right, it even starts like ending a music segment and then it ends going into a music segment. So it kind of like plays as if you just tuned into this radio station that they had, which was really fun. I think you did a great job with it.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was really fun seeing you get to meet Kasper. I think he had fun with it too.
Yeah. He seems like a really good guy.
He's such a good guy. Yeah. He was one of the original WCC members. Him and the Swede basically formed it back in 2011. Just the two of them showing up with a ham radio antenna mounted on the back of their pickup truck. And the WCC has never missed a year. They've grown. They've added, a lot of other services along with their radio. First off, they took over the Wasteland radio because that was done with an MP3 player kept near main stage for a while. So they have an actual radio broadcast now. They added the newspaper. They added mail delivery service. They do weather station. So, I mean, they just got it going on.
The Weather Rock.
Yeah. And Kasper helped, get that started. Although I know that he's taken a step away from the tribe stuff and is kind of doing his own thing. Now he does like Wasteland Weights and Measures or something like that. Basically the Guinness Book of World Records for Wasteland, which is really fun. But yeah, that way he can, make his rounds a lot faster and not be stuck in the WCC camp the whole time.
Yeah.
Which is a great way to do it. I've seen a lot of Wastelanders do that, where they're like, man, I've been stuck in this camp for a couple of years. I'm gonna get out of here and just go explore again. So sometimes there's a give and take of how you want to wasteland the verb.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a great experience, like meeting him and then going in. We took the tour of the WCC, and then the Swedes started introducing me to everybody. Going, this is Kasper number 2. So
nice.
I had access to the bar because I was second Kasper.
Oh, I like that. Hell yeah,
that was funny.
That's funny. So what do you think about like the scale and three-dimensionality of Wasteland Weekend?
Oh, it's phenomenal. I loved it. I was like, because it's you can tell people how big it is, and like, but until you stepped into it,
yeah,
you don't realize the scale of it. I mean, you can give measurements in the size of the camp, but until you've walked through the streets to where you can actually look in the distance and you don't see where it ends.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's big, but it seems bigger than what it is just by being in it. So it's that surreal moment where you feel like this is it. This is really here. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And to think that everybody puts that up in just a few weeks or a month.
Yeah. The main
crazy.
build is 2 weeks from first boots, and then the build crew comes in just the weekend before, so they're only there 5 days before the festival begins, and then the tribes come in on Sunday before the event, so they only have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday to build, and it goes up pretty fast. And there's always a little bit being finished on Wednesday as the festival starts, but for the most part, it's up and ready to go.
Oh, would you like to hear the tale of how we got our ride around Wasteland?
Yes, I do. Hit me.
Okay, so I have a friend that makes stuff for me, and this gets to the point. He made me an item, but he gave me another item that he'd already made. And he goes, I just thought it was funny, so I'll give it to you. And I was like, I just shake my head at this item that I got. And I'm like, oh my, what am I going to do with this thing? So I've had it in my kit for a while.
Uh-huh.
So I take it with me to Wasteland. I'm like, somebody will want it. I'm going to barter this. I'll get it. I'll get rid of it. It's so weird and random. So I'll go out with Goat Blow and Spaz on a barter run where they're just walking around. So we go over onto the barter section. So we're walking down the street, and we go in the corner. It's the camp. I think it's the guys that used to run the D's. They had a boat in the corner of their camp that had misters on it.
Uh-huh.
And okay, there we go. It froze up for a second. Sorry.
Oh.
But we get to that corner. I hear, hey. Fuck you. And I go, fuck you. And he goes, come here. So we walk into their camp. And he goes, what's your name? I was like, I'm Trench. What do they call you? And he goes, they call me Waffle. So you got anything to trade? He goes, I got some dead grass. I was like, no, I think I got something you might want.
What?
He just picks up some like grass off the ground because he didn't know to barter.
Oh, okay.
So
I got some dead grass, literally just pulling it out of the ground.
And I was like, I think I got something you really actually might want. And I pull that item out, and it is a 3D printed blue waffle.
If you want to know what it looks like, just Google blue waffle. I'm just kidding. Don't Google blue waffle.
Oh, why not? It's culture. But he goes, what the fuck would you want for that? I was like, what do you got? He goes, I got a car.
A what? A car?
Yeah. And he goes, I can give you a ride.
Oh, sweet.
So I was like, you got enough room for my whole tribe? He goes, sure. So I got a ride for a blue waffle. We went in nice. Was it the Devilfish? I do believe is the name of the car.
Okay. Oh, I know the one you mean.
It's got the mermaid mannequin on the front.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he took us for a ride around Wasteland. I traded him a blue waffle for a ride.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
wait. Did you didn't know you were going to bump into someone named Waffle that day?
No, I had no idea.
You just 3D printed a blue waffle just in case the opportunity came up.
Well, it was given to me, so I was like, "What am I going to do with this thing?"
Okay, I got
So I was just like, I had it on me, and I was like, Surely, but the irony of actually running into someone that had the name Waffle, I was like, this is a one chance.
That's hilarious. Well, I guess it's important to, it's always important for your costume to have lots of pockets so that you can have items to trade. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what you do with pockets, as well as how you can get your hands on one of these. We're going to finally talk about the trench patch coming up. But we're going to do that right after a very quick commercial break. And we'll be right back.
Hey, is your garden not growing? Do you miss vegetables? Well, come on down to Patriot Thistles. We got a whole swamp full of this stuff, and with just the right touch of cat oil and prison wine vinegar, we'll make you a thistle salad that'll remind you of the old world. We'll take caps, ammo, or even beanie babies, because they're going to be worth something again someday. Patriot Thistles. It's okay.
The Dead Raider Jerky Company is expanding to new territories, and we've got a whole new line of products your dirty feet are gonna love. Those raiders thought they could hide from us. Instead, they're giving their hides to us. Introducing Raider Rugs. These short-haired leathers will beautify the entry of your hovel, or can be used as an unwelcome mat to let all the raiders know they can't just walk all over you anymore. It's you who's gonna be walking on them. Raider rugs are 100% natural, come in various sizes, and are completely unique, and so may contain stab wounds, bullet holes, scars, burn marks, or tattoos. The skinny raiders will make a good runner for a hallway or the end of your bed, and the larger raiders are great decorative area rugs. And for every raider rug purchase, we'll go out and kill another raider, which is just good business economics, and you'll be helping make the world just a little bit safer for all peaceful wastelanders out there. Dead Raider Jerky Company's Raider Rugs. We've got skin in this game. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are back with Trench, the Carrion Collector. First off, as we get into it, and I promise we're going to talk about the patches and some pockets, but something I didn't ask you in the beginning was your name goes on. It's not just Trench. It's Trench, the Carrion Collector, inmate 4859. What the hell is the Carrion Collector? Because that automatically makes me think you're just picking up dead things.
Well, in a sense, is a nickname my character was given for his need to collect bone ash. But he only collects it from battlefields. Bone
ash from battlefields, so like from burnt bodies?
Mm-hmm. My character is noted for taking the bones from the fallen of war.
And what do you do with these bones?
I create battle ash.
And what's battle ash?
Battle ash is a combat blessing.
Oh, okay.
To help you in battle.
So kind of like is it kind of like decorative ash, like you would wear it?
You can do it yourself. You can splash it on yourself, or you can be blessed by me, which has happened in the past now.
Oh, very nice.
I carry a bag of it on me at all times for the most part. And if you want, for the right price, or if you're in battle for me, if you want, I can give you a blessing, and I spatter your entire being with ashes.
Well,
but they're not just any ashes; they're the ashes of fallen warriors. So
yeah, so basically, it's imbued with some kind of power of resonance.
Yeah, radiation.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
It's that lovely glow.
All right, I got you. All right, so Trench the Carrion Collector. That starts to make some sense. But what's up with the inmate 4859?
That goes into more of a how do you want to say it? It's a name somebody uses for me if they need a real life emergency or something's wrong. Like if somebody radios me and they call me by that number, then I know it's a serious thing that needs to be taken care of. Like in real reality, if somebody's hurt or somebody needs to talk to me seriously, they pull me to the side by calling me that instead of calling me by my other name.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like your code 911 kind of a thing.
Yeah, it's all inspired over a war hero from days gone by.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, right on. That's fun. And it's always neat to just have like these different story elements to your character that help you just build out a history. Mm-hmm. Rad. All right, cool. So we were talking about keeping things in your pockets, but you don't always just keep things in your pockets. Sometimes you put things in other people's pockets with a little gag you call pocket fruit. What's going on with pocket fruit?
Pocket fruit is reverse thievery. It's the gift that keeps on giving, especially if you forget to check your pockets before you put your clothing away for the year. But
oh, God, yeah.
It has happened, apparently. I've had pictures of shriveled pocket fruit. But you got pocket fruited this year.
I
but
did.
In a different way.
If I remember right, it was a mandarin.
Yeah, it's a little cutie, they call them, the little tangerines.
Yeah.
But yeah, it all started my first year at Aftermath. Actually, it started after the event, basically. And then after that became that because I had bartered with a friend of mine at one of their camps. Uh-huh. And all they had was fruit, so I bartered the fruit. So I had these 2 fruit in my lower pocket of my trench coat that I made. And it's cold at Aftermath. So, fruit's really nice. Uh-huh. Well, we were sitting around the bonfire at night. And I went to sit out, and something hit my leg really heavy. And I was like, what the hell's in my pocket? So I pull out this fruit, and instead of saying, oh, a tangerine, I went, oh, pocket fruit. My brain didn't say the right word. So that's where the name came from. So after that, we were leaving and we were driving down the road back to Missouri, and we got to a 3-way, and there was a homeless veteran on the side of the road asking for help. So I stopped traffic.
Wait, so you were having a 3-way with a homeless veteran?
No, you're taking that way there, Uncle. No, we were at a 3-way. Makeshift. Stop projecting your fantasies onto me.
It just hasn't happened yet. Damn it.
We've only met once.
Someday.
But anyway, we stopped at this intersection. And so I stopped traffic. Now, mind you, we just got done with our event. So our car's full of, what everybody else would consider just junk. And I've got like barters stuck in the back glass of the car. We're still in our Wasteland Basics style, smell like smoke. And I waved this guy over to the car. So I have one hand out over here stopping traffic. Yeah. And I hand this guy a 20, and I was like, here's a pocket fruit. And the guy just looks at the food and the money, looks at me and makes this weird, he goes, thank you. And he just walks away.
What?
Yeah, so after that, every year now, it's the goal. Yeah. I even made it my bounty that you can pocket fruit for me. I give people a target.
Nice.
At Aftermath, it's easier because it's more personal.
Right, yeah.
Because at a Wasteland event the size of Wasteland, it would be like, it looks a little weird. Uh-huh. No one knows what you're doing.
Right.
So I had to do it differently. But anyway, the objective is I walk up to you. I'm talking to you. Or I bump into you. But I'm looking you right in the eye, and then I just slowly put this in your pocket if your pockets are open.
Yep.
It's harder at Wasteland because people don't wear as many open pockets because it's not as cold.
Oh, yeah, because it's a lot tighter. You're not wearing the big overcoats and all that stuff. Yeah.
But I did make it work. So,
cool.
But yeah, the objective is to do that. Or I can walk by you while you're talking to somebody, put one in your cup.
Just throw one right there. Yep.
Cups on carabiners are easy targets.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, because that's usually something, and they're a perfect size for a cutie.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, and so I did it to you guys at Wasteland. And the best one was TK.
You got TK. So TK is the lead photographer at Wasteland Weekend. So how'd you get him?
Well, I saw him doing his. He was just hanging out with somebody talking up by the stage. It was, I don't know the people he was talking to, but how I did it to him, I just walked to him with my head down, kind of like I did you at first. And I just put my hand out in front of me with my palm down. And he looks at me and he just opens his hand and I drop the fruit in his hand. And he looks at it. He knows what it is. Now, these other people have no idea. And he just goes, oh, hell no. Fuck no, Trish. This isn't how you do this. You have to sneak up on me and put it in my pocket. Yeah. It's so loud for him. It's off, out of character. And these other people's eyes are just like,
That's brilliant.
I got you. I got him.
Yep.
I got Commodore while he was DJing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
While he's DJing.
Yeah. And
well, I gotta say, when you got me, it was like, mid-afternoon, it's 100 degrees out. And I was just like, hey, this is a cold cutie. I'm just going to peel this right now. I think I popped the whole thing in my mouth within a minute.
Yeah. They don't last long.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it makes your hands smell fresh because you get that delicious orange scent under your fingernails.
You see, I'm a nice thief. I keep them cold on ice. So
yeah, I appreciate you so much. All right, that's fantastic. And pocket free. There's a lot of pranks that happen at Wasteland. Some people have tried stealing things in the past. Doesn't really work that way. Stealing's still bad, but giving always good.
Yeah. See, no one expects a reverse theft.
No, it's brilliant. I love it. All right, sweet. So for all you guys out there, we've been hanging out with Trent, and he is this month's sponsor of the Apocalypse Post's Patch of the Month Club. If you haven't heard about this yet, it's something we've been doing on the Patreon. If you sign up at the $10 tier or above, you automatically join the Patch of the Month Club. So we've been doing it for over a year now, which is pretty wild. And Trent submitted his shovel skull patch. It's in the shape of an elongated shield, and it has a really cool skull on a handle. Basically, skull shovel. And these are going out this month. If you are signing up for the first time and you missed last month, fear not, because you'll get the Atomic Soda Bomb. This was an original Apocalypse Post Dukes of the Nuke patch that went out last month. So if you sign up for the first time this month, you're going to get both of those patches delivered. And if you've just been a member of the Patch of the Month Club for a while, you'll get the new one because you don't need the Atomic Soda Bomb. You already got it last month. Anyway, feel free to sign up for that at patreon.com/theapocalypsepost. And we're going to hear a little bit more about the significance of this patch right now. So Trench, what does this patch mean? What's the shovel signify? And what does the bearer of this patch get if they run into you?
Well, it just means that if you need help, I'm there. Because this shows a sign that I trust you. And the shovel skull is getting stuck in. No falling back. If you don't go past the trench, you only go forward. If you come back to the trench, that's where you can go to regroup, but you don't go no farther back. So never give ground as much as possible.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, because you're digging in. You're sticking around.
Yep.
Oh, I like that. That's really fun. Cool. And the shield is a little reminiscent of the Wasteland Weekend shield, but it's definitely elongated. And this will be the first patch that I'll be sending out that's kind of like taller than it is wide. And I really love the shape, and it's going to fit in a lot of different places. I was also kind of playing with these. And did you even know that if you take several of them, they start to kind of create this trench flower because of you can put the angles together. So. Yeah, I don't know. I think
you just coined a new item, a trench flower.
Trench flower, yeah. I feel like if you had enough of these, you could make a really cool design on the back of your jacket or something. Anyway, I'm just playing around, but yeah, I think it's a really cool patch, and people are going to get really excited to see it. I already had a few people sign up this month once they saw the post go up, so good stuff. Yeah, and yeah, so. In your description of it, it basically says anyone that bears the patch can call on you in times of need or to get your ash blessing, right?
Yeah.
That is fantastic. So can we count on you to have some ash ready for when you see people wearing these at Wasteland this year?
I've got a bag that has about a half a gallon in it, so we're
really
good to go. Yeah.
And you just walk around with all this. You walk around with chilled fruit and a bag of ash plus a bunch of stuff to barter the whole time.
Yeah, my pocket has the pockets where I keep the fruit in. The pockets are technically shade, so the fruit stays cold. Even in Wasteland, with the heat we had this year, I could go 30 minutes to an hour and still have a chilled fruit in my pocket.
Oh, that's awesome! Hell yeah!
And I keep the pocket shut so the dirt doesn't just get in my pockets. So it's not like they're gross, and they got a skin on them, so you got to peel them to eat them. So it's hygienic regardless.
Yeah, awesome.
But yeah,
that is the nice thing about skinned fruit is it comes in its own baggie.
Yep.
Bananas, oranges, kiwi. Yeah. Does kiwi count?
It's kind of soft though.
Yeah, kiwi. I don't know if kiwi would do so well out there.
I wouldn't try that. I don't think you gotta get warm kiwi. Ugh.
That would be a little too bougie for Wasteland anyway. Like just walking around with some exotic island fruit. Just like, where'd you get this?
Because you smash that in your pocket, it's just gonna turn to slime.
Yeah. Ugh. It's funny. So I've been working on this news story for Legends of Wasteland City called "Don't Stop Shooting," and in the story we find out that the railroadmen have gotten a certain line open again all the way from Florida to Texas. So they've gotten this line going again. And one of the things that they're trading, there's like wood and water coming out of the New Orleans area because they're right on the river. Oranges are coming up from Florida, and then like cattle and pig are coming back from Texas. So like they're trying to rebuild an economy, but the railroad men are not great people. But yeah, it was kind of fun because oranges, I was like, oranges have always been special because you know how like, especially in Europe, like an orange for Christmas was a big deal
Yes.
for a long time.
Definitely.
For a long time because it was such a rare thing that it would be this special treat. And now, especially here in America, we have oranges. They're just available all the time. There's
oranges and lemons. Yeah.
Yeah. All the fruit. And then except for that very small, like exotic stand where you get that star fruit and the pomegranates and stuff. But yeah, orange, we just always have them. But you know, once trade stops, they are very much only growing in like, you know, certain areas of the United States. I think like Southern California and Florida. So, you know, if you lose if we lose our ability to transport things, a lot of stuff goes away. So oranges become special again. So I don't know. I just thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah, one other place I saw oranges a lot in my travels was when we would visit her mom in Arizona. There's a lot of orange trees.
Is this Spaz's mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Arizona, they had a lot of those trees there too.
Oh yeah. 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 Because for some reason, I think a lot of citrus does well, like in humid areas, but I think they also kind of like when it's a little dry because it, you know, makes sure that they stay sour.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, there's nothing like picking some fresh citrus fruit off of a tree and just eating it right then. It's like extra sour, a little bitter, really good.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love sour fruit, so that's why I always get those things.
Yeah. Last time I was in LA, I was walking around with other Shepherd, not the one from Atomic Annie. And every time I passed by one of the houses that had a fruit tree that hung over the street, I was just like, oh, grabbing that. I ended up with like a whole like armful of street fruit. and I think because it's street fruit, it was super sour. So it mostly went to making cocktails, basically.
I'm glad you specified what kind of street fruit, because the first thing I was thinking was road apples. Gross.
Ew, road apples. It's so funny, like when you start putting these street fruit doesn't sound so hot. Pocket fruit, not. It's a little bit better. What'd you say? Street apple? No, road apple. What the hell's a road apple?
That is a slang term for horse shit.
Oh,
road apple.
Yeah,
You're
that
like
makes
street
sense.
Fruit. My brain was like, nope.
Street fruit,
I'm
road
good.
apples. Nope, different stuff.
Sounds like a Wasteland name.
It does.
Here's road apple.
That would be a great Wasteland name. Road apple. Hell
Boy,
yeah.
Everybody look out now. Somebody's going to be trying to name me road apple.
Yep.
Don't ever
Awesome.
say you don't have a name.
Awesome. I got another gift from you this year, not just the pocket fruit, but you and your crew of the Ash Waste Nomads presented me with a gift vest, a really nicely done costume piece. And that was really great. I actually ended up wearing it that day at my performance at the Rec Room. But it looks like you do quite a bit of crafting and like costume stuff. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, me and Spaz got into it pretty heavy there for a while. I mean, once we got our basics down, we were kind of like, all right, we can kind of slow down a little bit because we were working on like 6 or 7 different projects at once. But mine started with my my pants that I made. My pants made of pockets.
Of course, yeah, you need pockets. We well established at this point.
Like literally, the legs are all made out of stitched cargo pants pockets together.
Oh yeah.
And then I made the jacket that I'm wearing now, which was just a button-up shirt that I extended, and what was left of the pants became the sides.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
So yeah, I used the belt line and the butt are now the sides of my jacket.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's sweet.
But I really enjoy doing it. I mean, I really don't know what else to say. My favorite part is aging it.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Like I love like distressing it and dyeing it.
Cool.
Sewing, not so much. Not a. Although I've had to sew a lot.
Yeah. Do you use a machine or do you do it by hand?
By hand. I don't use string. I use sinew or fiber.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah. So it gives it that rustic look when you look at it. It's not like really finely stitched. So.
Right. Yeah. Doing it by hand can add so much to the look of things. And and honestly, like you can kind of make sure that it looks like it's failing in some areas, but then that it's actually holding so that you can wear it.
Yeah. It's like with this vest back here, I got this whole shoulder pad's made out of pistol belts.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't. The bolts are on it, but I discovered another way to work really good.
Uh-huh.
Even if I carry it up here, I can't really describe it. But there's the holes through the pistol belt, the eyelets.
Uh-huh.
And instead of using bolts to the whole thing, I used pieces of 550 cord.
Okay.
And I stuck it through there, and I melted it like you're just going to stop the ends from fraying. But I compressed them, and it made bendable rivets.
Oh, wow.
So this actually flexes in and out.
Cool. Oh, that's brilliant.
And then for padding on the inside to protect your shoulder, because this is what I wear when I wear my like 15-pound shoulder pad.
Uh-huh.
You know, I'm one of those dumb guys that likes to wear all the heavy stuff because it makes me feel better.
Yep.
But no, I used oven pads, like heat pads for like picking up hot pans. I just stitched the inside. Yeah, it made great padding, like a Gibson
that's
jacket.
good. Yeah. Yep. Nice.
Yeah, and you can get those for like 25 cents for 4 of them at a yard sale.
Totally right. Oh, that's a good idea. Just using some thicker padding as padding, basically. Yeah. Brilliant. Well, very cool. I definitely appreciate the gift you guys gave me because it's always really nice to have someone that's just thinking about you and putting something together that kind of fits the character. And I had a blast wearing it for my show.
We wanted to try to put stuff on it that was, depicted you, so that's why there's a camera on there.
Yep.
And then the bomb for the nukes.
Yep.
Is on there.
Somehow you made it fit me perfectly, and I don't know how you pulled that off because it's like it's not tight, but it's not loose. It's kind of like right on. So I don't know if you sent some like secret agent person to get my measurements or something. But
yeah. And she goes, I want to hand paint a picture for him on the back. So she made that whole thing herself on the back.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, Baz. So cool. Fantastic. All right, sweet. Well, we're going to see you at Wasteland again this year, right? Oh boy.
That's we'd love to, but finances wise, I'm not sure if that's
I
gonna
got
work.
you. It's going to be a tough year for a lot of people, especially those that aren't local.
Especially since the price of driving home this year.
Right.
Oof.
Oh, yeah. You didn't tell me about your return trip. Did something happen?
Yeah, that's when the truck decided to have a meltdown. To get the truck going after we got to her mother's house, we visited them after we got done. We made the mistake of taking I-10. And there was already stuff wrong with the truck that we knew we were going to have to get done when we got back. But I-10 beat it up so bad.
Yikes, that's too bad.
All the shocks were bad. Blew a belt in the right rear tire. Whoa. And it caused the tie bar and everything to take a shit. It ended up taking over $6,000 to get it running back down the road again.
Yeah,
at that stop. But the guys in that town got it going overnight.
Jeez,
we were gone by I don't know, late evening the next day.
Crazy. Yeah, that's one of the wild things is all these freeways. There's people. They're not going to be cheap, but there's a lot of mobile mechanics and people that will help you out in an emergency. And I've been saved by them more than a couple of times. I had some mobile trailer mechanics come and replace my axle this year on the way to Wasteland. So pretty nuts. But yeah, the life on the road, man, it's nuts. And when your car starts acting up, it can be a lot and it can cost a lot real fast.
Yeah, that's one thing I liked about the Great 40s. People were keeping in contact with each other.
Right.
If someone had problems, if someone was nearby, they could help them.
Yep.
Because we had a few people that had problems. I'm not going to name off all their issues in case they don't want to be named, so I'm not going to.
Yeah, there's lots of issues. It's always on Facebook on the way to Wasteland and on the way home. There's always someone posting hey, we blew a fly. We blew a tire. Our engine putzed out, or narrowly avoided this accident. So yeah, there's always just tales from the road every year.
Yeah. A lot of it's nightmares with trailers, and it's the vehicles themselves. You can attest to that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've had my camper has given me a lot of trouble the last couple of years, but it's getting older, and
it's a long haul though. It really is.
There's a lot that can go wrong, and then you finish it up with a couple of miles of washboard at the event. So it can really tear them up.
Yeah, don't take I-10 ever.
Fair warning. Oof. Yeah, 40's nice and flat and straight. So, but all right, cool. Well, I know that it's the middle of the weekend for you, and I'm going to try to get this thing up this week. So we're going to wrap things up. Was there anything else that you wanted to mention to Wastelanders or people that were thinking about going for the first time?
If you're going to go, be prepared. Ask people advice. Hale hydrate. and always keep something on you to eat or to drink no matter where you go.
Yeah.
And never be afraid to stop at somebody's camp and they will offer you if you need something.
Absolutely.
I mean, everybody, if their door's open, somebody's willing to help you out. I mean,
yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah. 100%.
I've seen so much help from the dead men. Props to those guys in Hobo Junction.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we didn't talk about that.
No, we didn't. You guys
Not
are
the
allied with Hobo Junction now, right?
Yeah, we forgot to talk about that one. The Alliance and the saving our allegiance leader from being exploded.
Oh, fun. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting one. But I don't know if you want to say that for another time or.
Well, tell me the quick version of it.
Quick version. Well, we went to do our ceremony.
Uh-huh.
And we were marching. We had our banner up, and there we have photos of that. It was me, Spaz, and Goatblow being our banner standard. He was walking with it, and we got up to the gate, and we see Hatters held up at gunpoint and also bomb point,
which he often is.
Yeah, and they were trying to collect a bounty on him, and. Long story short, I think there's a rule that if whoever has the most guns wins in a holdup like that at Wasteland. At first, we were losing, and then they were like, "Well, I was told, well, we can blow everybody up." I was like, "Well, I'm already prepared to die, and if I die, people will take my place." And about the time I say that, two people from the Great 40 show up. It's Dumpster Juice and Shitbag.
Uh-huh.
They both show up and pull out guns. Like, well, the guns are drawn, so something's wrong. So they pull up, and then we have our friend Sleds there from the Dogs of War.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, we ended up getting the win by gunfire.
Nice.
Yeah, that was epic. And then we got to do our ceremony for the WCC.
Cool.
Where he blessed us with the waters from his cup, and I blessed him with our ashes, and then we shook with his soil and my ash together in our hands. Got some great photos of it. It was a great time.
Cool.
And,
and adding stuff like that, especially this event, I've talked about it quite a bit, but Wasteland Weekend is LARP, and it's also not LARP. You can kind of jump into things and jump out of things. You don't have to be in it the whole time. There's no scorekeeping or anything like that. But for people that really like to kind of do act outs or improv or to create a scene that like an audience can enjoy, there's opportunity to do that pretty much anywhere. And you can make things intimate. You can put them right out on the street. You can do whatever you want. So it's actually really fun that you can kind of like jump into these theatrics and then jump right back out and just share a beer together.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
and so many great people to run into.
Yep. Yeah,
so many different. It's a very colorful place to go as far as like background of the people.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, with that wonderful story of some tribes intermingling at Wasteland Weekend, let's wrap things up. So, Trench, thanks so much for coming on and say goodbye to Spaz for me. Appreciate her jumping in for some help earlier.
Right. No problem.
Yeah, you got it. All right, sweet. And let's see. For all you guys out there, make sure you are subscribed wherever you're listening. You can support this channel and everything we make, along with live music and videos and podcasts and all sorts of things by joining a Patreon at patreon.com/theapocalypsepost. That's also where you can sign up for the Patch of the Month Club and get the Trench Skull Shuffle delivered next month. So that's the patch for March. Share this episode if you can. So if you've got a friend, how do I mess this up every time? If you enjoyed today's episode, share it with a friend. If you hated it, share it with an enemy and throw a cutie in their cup when they're not looking. Trench, thanks again for hanging out. And can't wait to see you again at one of these festivals. I'll see you, even though you won't be at Wasteland this year. We'll hang out. All right. For all you guys out there, I'll see you next time. Until then, stay alive.
And days and days and